Seasonal influenza activity is high across the country, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, with some people feeling like they can't shake the symptoms.
WIFR reporter Alyssa Kelly meets with experts to learn why virus symptoms are lingering around for longer this cold and flu season.
Alyssa Bartell, a nurse practitioner at OSF Healthcare, sees what some experts call a quad-demic, an increase in COVID-19, influenza, RSV, and the norovirus, really a quadruple whammy.
Sometimes past 4 to 8 weeks, people are hanging on to some of these symptoms, which again can be extraordinarily frustrating for people.
That frustration seems to be common right now. In the midst of cold and flu season, people fill doctors' offices and emergency rooms way past the risky holiday window.
We are in the height of the cold and flu season.
OSF nurse practitioner Alyssa Bartell explains 4 key viruses are spreading, and while symptoms can be treated, the actual virus cannot.
We have to allow your body to really fight against them and get over the virus in and of itself.
Bartell says if your symptoms reoccur, it could be a new virus moving in, so never let your guard down.
Their immune systems are weakened because they're fighting very hard to get over what they initially got infected with, and now they're picking up other things.
Even with this added rush, Bartell says this seems to be a normal cold and flu season. But Dana Culpa, a nurse manager for an assisted living facility, isn't so sure.
I think it's an increase this year, more so than the last 2 years. We've had noticed norovirus and coronavirus. We've had influenza A and just a generalized head cold going around.
Culpa explains when they see an increase of cases, her facility puts certain procedures in place.
It is usually something we get into every season. We have noticed more of it since the coronavirus comes in, but we still monitor everybody every year.
Experts highlight the importance of washing hands throughout the cold and flu season and suggest staying home until your symptoms are better.
Thank you, Alyssa. And experts also recommend seeking medical attention if you are experiencing serious symptoms such as shortness of breath, chest pain, reduced appetite, or if you are not responding to medications as you normally would.